who's standing stage side for an interview with AD Carry's AD Carry.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm here with CLG Stixay. Congratulations once again on a series win. You guys have been on a bit of a tear recently, but what happened in game one? Because that looked a little crazy towards the end of that first one.
Well, game one was pretty hectic. We had like really good control, and then until we got the mid inhib, and then they baited us into fighting when we didn't want to, and we basically threw the game. And then even though like I felt like we were playing better than them, but they had TF, so anytime we like out-rotated them around the map, they could just TF port on Darshan and he just dies. So that's why we banned TF next game. I think we generally play pretty poorly versus that, so that's why we did it. But
yeah, you guys had a pretty good series there, and you actually have been playing pretty well recently. Lots of Lucian, a bit of Sivir that game as well. You've been kind of back to your old aggressive ways. Do you feel more comfortable just kind of playing more aggressive and flashing forward a bit more?
I think about like 2 weeks ago, we just kind of had like a talk as a team, and we basically brought it down to like we are not trusting people as much. So for me, I would say that me and Afro hadn't been working as well together as we normally do. So I think we just kind of bounced back, and I have a lot more trust in him now, as he does in me. So, and in general, I just have a lot more trust in my team, so I'm able to do stuff more comfortably, I guess. So. Yep.
Well, you're going to need it as well, because you have 2 huge matches coming up next week. We'll take them one by one. First of all, Cloud9 you'll be playing, I believe, on Sunday. What are your thoughts on that matchup, and how you think you'll fare against that team?
Well, I think Cloud9's a pretty good team. They're on kind of like a downfall right now, so hopefully, I would say we're on the upswing as well. So I would say maybe we have an advantage. I don't know, but it'll be a fun game.
And then, of course, Immortals are the team you have to play before you get to play Cloud9. Obviously, a team that's looking very, very strong. You guys have already played TSM, so the #1 team. How are you feeling against Immortals?
Immortals is really good. They've always been really good, so it's going to be a really hard match. But last time we played them, we were able to take off a game, and we had a chance to win the series, but we just weren't good enough to close it out. So, but I think next time it'll be closer, a lot closer. So.
And just generally, you guys have been, again, like on a bit of an upswing. How are you feeling kind of in the back half of your season? Because it does feel like CLG kind of back on their feet again.
Yeah, I mean, we have moments where we're kind of coming back, and then we have moments where it's like, oh boy, here we go again. So we're definitely getting there, and you can pretty much tell like we're improving and getting back to our form, I guess, but we still have a lot of work to do, so.
Well, best of luck. You guys have been playing great. Congratulations again on your win. Thank you so much for the interview, Stixay, but we're going to throw it back to the guys at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. CLG snagging that victory after the first loss to Phoenix1 here. So we'll be happy with it. And of course, the third game was the most dominant, just over 24 minutes for a victory. So that was clinical.
Yeah, definitely picked up pace throughout the series, where it was a loss, a win, and then a very quick win. So good to see from CLG that they kind of came together.
And a lot of how they did it, obviously, was with their composition. The Cassiopeia coming up big for who he definitely stretching his champion pool a little bit, which is good to see in a mid-lane focused meta, in which we know that he has struggled in the past.
Well, one thing that wasn't good to see was the Gnar. Again, first rotation Gnar. He played Aurelia 2 games in a row. He stomped the Gnar every time. Can we not take it again? We take Gnar again. And even with all the pressure that Inori tried to put into the lane, even at that stage in the around 20-minute mark, he got 1v1. So this is not a good matchup, and I feel like it's a lack of foresight from P1 and really understanding that this matchup is not going to go there very well. It only went well because of the Twisted Fate in the game 1.
So to say, all 3 games blind picking the Gnar before the Aurelia comes through in all 3 games. The only game in which it was successful was the one where they had the TF who could help in the side lane. Even then, it wasn't like it was a landslide victory in the side lane.
He was still unable to.
We're hanging on by a thread here because of the TF in the side lane. So that's the thing. It's like it clearly was not a working strategy. We didn't see the adjustment come out of Phoenix1 in Game 3. They suffer for it, to say the least. Diving into some of the gameplay itself, since it was such a short one, 12 minutes in, we got a 3-0 in the mid lane for CLG. This in and of itself blows the game wide open.
Right. I mean, the game had been pretty even at this point. There have been some traded kills. And then here, after getting an initial pick onto the Karma, CLG makes a really decisive dive onto Zig and Gate, who's going to walk up here, and just an instant flash ult from Huhi. They blow Gate up, and then from here they're able to kind of push through these next couple turrets. And this, like you said, blew the game open, where it goes from a pretty even game to a couple thousand gold.
Yeah, a couple kills, lots of global gold coming off of both the turret kills as well as the three pickups on the kills themselves. So pockets flooded with gold. CLG has entire control of the game. But the one thing I will say, the one thing I continue to love to see out of Phoenix1 is the fact that they're trying things. The fact that they are making plays to get back in the end. Because some of our other teams that down there at the bottom of the table are not doing that. So at least this is a squad that says, okay, we got beat up. We got slapped in the face. We got, the wind knocked out of us. Let's go again.
Well, the key thing is that trying things is the first step to improving. If you're never going to try, you're never going to learn from the mistakes. So at least they're putting in the work necessary, and the results will come after enough time. But this is why they've improved and starting to take some of the wins and getting out of that swamp that they were in.
Right, they set up that death brush kind of in the top side where initially only went 1 for 2, and they picked up a couple more at the tail end of that play. And just small things like that are really nice to see because it's not just them at the turret waiting for the wave to come in. They're trying to catch people in the rotation. And that's something that a lot of top teams actually do. And them trying to model that, and eventually they'll get a little better at it, or maybe hopefully they're not down as much when they start that play, which can obviously factor into it. So there's a lot of positives for P1, which is kind of what we were hoping to see in this series because we were going to be surprised if they won it.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that we're coming full circle on this. We got a
Right.
2-1 series. Basically, what you and Dyrus were saying yesterday is the expectation is that CLG will win, but that we want to see Phoenix1 put up a good fight, and they did just that. Even though this game finished in 24 minutes, the stabs that they made to get back into the game not working is what made the game end so quickly. But I'd rather them lose quickly and have made efforts to win the game than to lose slowly and have known they were going to lose the entire time.
Right, I mean, a ton of the top teams have that kind of mentality, Team Liquid and Immortals being two, who they're just going to keep going until they either get the lead back or they lose.
Right, exactly that. So 21 minutes into the game, we have a 3-for-0 for CLG at the red side, blue buff. They're going to snag the Baron off that, and then within 3 minutes, they'll close
So
out
this
the
is
game.
a really great engage. They're looking for the pick onto the Bard, but unfortunately, the Q from Bard from Braum misses, and immediately they try to go into CLG, onto Xmithie, and they should just leave, but he turns it around
Another
with
great
a
ultimate
massive
from Huhi.
petrifying gaze, and it just lines up Sivir so perfectly. All 3 in a row. The boomerang hits everybody. The ricochet, you can't flash out of the miasma. So this is just a really
But
nice.
this is that case, Mark, that we're talking about. Phoenix1 is
Right.
the initiator of this
Yes.
fight. It was a good play.
It wasn't. It wasn't them like face checking a Baron into a Cassiopeia stun. It was we almost caught them out. It was so close to being a play where they get a kill or two, which gives some gold back and stalls the game out.
When they look at it back, they can think, okay, how can we have made this play a little bit better?
Right.
So that in the future matches, if we're in this situation again, we can make sure that it happens, it works, and we can stall the game out, put ourselves closer to victory.
Well, the man on the screen there that saved the play for CLG, who he is going to get our player of the game here on the Cassiopeia, and a lot of it in part because of ults like that. Not afraid to be either the reinitiate, the turn, the counter initiate, or as in the first replay, the primary initiate with a flash ultimate.
Well, when this series started, I was kind of disappointed with the whole supportive Karma build in the mid lane. It's like, okay, you're going with a champion in the build that takes literally no skill. You just press R, E, or E, and W. Again, no skill shots here. And immediately transitions into the Victor. Massive success. Immediately goes into the Cassiopeia, another champion that is relatively difficult to play. And he sees so much action with it, so much proactivity that it's refreshing to see, especially towards all the negativity towards his play.
Right, and it's not just that you can play the Cassiopeia, but even though you don't like the Karma necessarily, at least you have multiple styles that you're willing to play, which puts a little bit more thought into the pick ban phase for enemy teams.
Yeah, well, again, CLG, maybe this is the start of it. They've gotten into that 6-win group in terms of the rest of the team, so still very much in contention for playoff spots and then probably further. This was a good start for them. For Phoenix1, it's great to see them still pressing hard on this back half of the split. We'll see what else they can do in future weeks. Time now to close things out.